Welcome to episode 23 of Daily 1%. Today we will discuss about unconscious competence. So this is a topic which I was aware about for a long time, but then it makes more sense these days. It's important that you realize that your goal when you try to master something is to reach unconscious competence, right? Because whatever you do in life and whatever you practice to attain perfection in life will go through 4 phases. The first phase is called unconscious incompetence, the phase where you have no idea what you're doing and you're not competent as well. The second phase is called conscious incompetence, where you're trying to learn something but you are incompetent even if you're trying, right? I mean, whenever for example, right now I'm trying to improve my speaking skills, so I've divided my requirement into 14 different elements, and if I master these single elements properly, I will be able to be a good speaker. But the issue is that even though I'm aware about it, I'm not able to perform it to the degree I would call as competence. So what happens right now is that I'm in a period where I am at conscious incompetent. Okay, so after you practice this for long enough, and once you have a lot of focus on what you're doing, if you focus a lot, you're going to soon reach a point which is known as conscious competence, where you have to think, and once you think and you're like focused exactly on what you're doing, you'll be able to do this pretty well, but you have to be very conscious about it. And the final place where you have to finally reach is something called as unconscious competence. That is when you can say that you have mastered that process, and you can automatically, and it becomes part of your system, and you're able to do it without any thinking, and your neural network in your body is able to emulate that process without any effort, and it becomes part of you. So if you put a lot of work on something and try to focus on it long enough, it's going to be part of your unconscious competence. And this takes time. It depends on what you're trying to learn. If you're trying to learn something very simple, this could be pretty easy. But if you're learning something extremely new, even that could be quite easy. But if you're trying to change a habit that you had for 10 years, 15 years, it might take a long time to be unconscious competent. I mean, you have to work a lot for that, and you have to have systems in place to make sure that you practice properly and you don't wander around without knowing. For example, when learning how to drive a car, you kind of know what you have to do, right? You have to, use the steering wheel, use the brakes and the accelerator, use the shift stick, etc. So having an idea about all those different elements and mastering it separately, and finally all of that becomes part of you as an automatic system, that is what you need to do. That is how you finally become competent in driving. The same way you can be competent in whatever you do if you keep having focus on it, if you keep working on it and thinking about it at all times. So work on that in that way. You have to always keep working on something and keep it part of your system, and eventually you're going to be a boss at that. So it is, again, I'm reiterating that one of the lessons I've explained before. You have to have focus. Focus is crucial, and a lot of things I'm teaching, I'm giving advices on in this past episodes are kind of the same thing, to be honest. Like, all of them are sort of brothers to each other. They're different, but they're not exactly different. They're kind of alike in some way. Like being consciously incompetent and being unconsciously competent is part of being focused at all times, having clarity in your mind. And those are also elements I've explained before in previous episodes. So yeah, again, a reminder to kind of make you understand that a lot of basics are just doing it, and it's kind of like ultra basic. You don't have to be a pro with like deep understanding about something. You just have to realize that you have to do some things right, such as being focused, building momentum, and being learning how to learn, and understanding what it means by having an unconscious competence, etc. And that will help you a lot more to face different aspects of life that needs these processes to be successful. Peace.